And Philly police also saying people there reporting feeling the seismic activity. And even above New York City, Yonkers putting out a statement on Twitter saying they are assessing any potential damage. And they've been getting inundated with calls or telling people, call 911 if you or someone you know is hurt, also directing people over to the mayor's helpline if there's structural damage. So just this morning, people across the Northeast continuing to react at this 4.7 magnitude earthquake. And right now, it seems like a lot of emergency officials, Bill and Dana, are just urging people to stay calm. I think there's a collective shock. Maybe that's not the right word to use right now, but there's a lot of people just, you know, in awe of what's taken place this morning. Not every day that an earthquake rattles the Northeast like this.
Thank you. We'll get back to you momentarily. Vinny Erbergas, one of our great directors here, says he felt in Orange County, New York, 70 miles northwest of New York City. He says lasted about 20 seconds. Sounded like a fully loaded tractor trailer flipped over right next to the house.
Wow.
That's the way to wake up.
We really missed it, Bill.
Yes,
we are on top of it
with
since.
You.
Adam Klotz is in the Weather Center. I believe that he might be able to join us. Adam, are you there?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I am here. I also didn't feel it. I feel like I was missing out on that. We do have a couple of graphics when these sort of things do happen. This is the location just outside of New York City. It's part of the Ramapo fault system. It's the longest crack in the Earth's surface on the eastern side of the country. And when earthquakes do happen, as we know, it's very rare. But this is it has typically been the spot that they have happened. This one was at our current look. Oh, getting ahead of myself here. Let me go back for you guys. At our current look, this one is a 4.7 magnitude, and it was located just half a mile down, which is incredibly shallow as far as these things go, which is why so many people felt it. Like you, I didn't feel it here in the building, but I have friends who've been texting far out into Brooklyn who felt this. Some folks up in Princeton, New Jersey also felt it. So it's really shallow. It's part of a fault system that is really long. It doesn't move very often, but when it does happen, this is typically where these happen here across the Northeast. And I do think that shallow nature is the reason that we've seen so many people reporting and texting and calling so far this morning.
Adam, I wanted to ask you about that a little bit more. So we were just talking about the earthquake in Japan was much deeper at 21 miles.
Taiwan.
I said Japan, sorry,
okay.
In Taiwan. Was 21 miles below. So this one you're saying is much more shallow, relatively speaking, and that's why people felt it?
Yeah, this one is incredibly shallow. The most of the ones we get are closer to what you see there in Taiwan. This was really shallow. It's not a huge number, but for this part of the country, this is a big number. And it is the shallowness. Obviously, the closer you are to the surface, it takes a smaller shake for us all to notice it. And this is, from what it appears, at least in these initial reports, was a very shallow earthquake.
Yeah, Adam, thank you so much. Get back to work there. We'll get back to you momentarily. On the phone, John Abel, a professor and research scientist at the Weston Observatory. Sir, thank you for jumping on the phone. It's early in this story. Should people expect more tremors to follow, or how often do you get a one and done, sir?
For an earthquake this large, I would expect there to be aftershocks that would be felt by people living within few miles, perhaps a few tens of miles of the epicenter, if there are larger aftershocks.